Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Aquatic Dome finally. Today with a little showcase video because I lost my recordings. Well, actually I deleted them myself. You know, it's not like I lost them, it's not unfortunate, it's just my pure personal stupidity. So we are here today, and what I did, I went back 2 or 3 versions of what I've done so that I don't spoil everything for the final tour and for the final videos of this thing. So it's done, and I plan to do the tour before the baby break is happening, so it's gonna be rather, you know, in the next couple days somewhere. And there is one thing I'm gonna talk about at the end of the video, why it's not perfect, and I won't get it perfect, but that's purely down to the game, unfortunately. And I want to really use this video to be vocalized a little bit about this, because I hope Frontier is going to fix this rather soon. I will speak to them again, because without the fix to this, I think it's basically impossible to build really cool and realistic kind of water elements. But that's something we talk about later. First of all, let me show what I've done. So these vending machines over here that do stand in a pretty awkward position are pretty stupid, and I will actually have to make them look nicer. In fact, I did this already, but this is something you will see in the end. The reason why they are here is because people kept watching towards the flamingos over there. And even with the wall, I needed to put something else in here to make them stop over and not look there. There was like a huge traffic jam over here, and that's kind of horrible. You can see I did a little bit of fencing, which I will basically rip apart a little bit. I have done this in a slightly different way. It's not too much of a change, but I did change this a little bit. And then over here you can see we finally have some changes on this thing. I'm very happy about this little seating area. I'm a huge fan of that, because this took me quite a while, to be honest, to get it that perfect. So people can actually sit on it. You can see the donation bins are in it, looks rather clean, and we have this little tour font on top to tell the people there's the entrance. And guess what? Yes, it's finally the entrance. It's not the entrance anymore. So yeah, we fixed that, and you can see I also did a huge overhaul here in the bridge section. So the bridge has a different shape now. There's like a huge bamboo fencing around here for a very specific reason, and this is because the people also kind of cramped over here because they were keeping the eyes on the animals, and so they stood on this bridge, and everything was kind of having a little bit of a bottleneck in here, and there was only the only way to get rid of it seriously was to give them no viewing opportunities in here. So this is what I've done with this area as well. There's a little bit of, you know, bugging going on still, but it's totally okay. It's totally fine. And what I've also done, but this is something that doesn't really show too much, I cleaned up a lot of things. So we have these things on the ground now. People came up with the idea of having these on the ground because this is what keeps our friends, the flamingos, inside. And you see that in actual zoos as well, that they use these gutters because these birdies do not run over it. You can hear in the background now the alert for a escape, and this is exactly the topic we will talk about later. I also did a few minor changes to this area, which will then be in the final version. I'm just giving you some teasers here of what I've done, because I don't want to spoil it all, because then there's like legit no reason for you to watch. This area here pretty much stayed the same. I just cleaned up the pathway a little bit. You can see this backstage area over here is a bit more well hidden. This is something I did very simply. And the hippo habitat gets a tiny little overhaul as well. Nothing major, nothing crazy. I'm keeping this thing under the wraps here. I'm not really showing you too much, only that there's like a little counter for someone staying there to get the people in, where you can still see people running through. I have to fix that, but I'm not going to show you anything inside because there's some secrets in. I'm not going to show you right now. I also needed to fix the bridge here of the penguins. This is something you basically don't see, but what you can see is that the keeper is taking the bridge again. So I fixed this, and I fixed also the animals now being able to go from here to the other side again, simply because there was everything broken, and you can see now the penguins are back in here, but they can now swim over to the other side again. Again, with all the changes Frontier does. Maybe even, hell, let's have a look. Maybe it's broken again. I don't know. Oh yeah, look, it is actually broken again. So I have no idea. I think I just keep it the way it is for the showcase or for the tour, because legit I have absolutely no idea how to fix this. Like, I have really, there is nothing I can do about it. I tried deleting these these things here. I tried changing everything, I tried making that wider, I tried making it smaller, I tried making whatever, and it keeps not working. Let's have a look if it does now for it. Yeah, at least for now it works. But again, this will change. When I do load this file again, it will be broken again. So I'm not even hoping that this would be the fix now. But you can see the penguins in this area, they actually do dive apparently now when there is food. They do actually dive down here. You can see there you go. So sometimes the people can actually catch the animals diving down here. You can see it's all now not as cramped anymore. I did a lot of work to make sure that this is not super cramped and it's all kind of nice and fine. And then in here you can see there's basically no bottlenecks anymore. It's, you know, it's actually, there's a lot of traffic going on, nothing too crazy, but it's not too big of a deal anymore. This area over here changed a little bit. I kind of changed a few things. You can see the cool bit is the crocs do dive down here, and I did a little bit of plants over here, but this is again very sensitive when it comes to the diveable area. As soon as you put some plants down, they're like, nah, no, I'm not gonna dive, I'm not gonna do this for you. So yeah, lots of things I changed here. I think the interior of the dome is pretty much set. You know, there are a couple of things I tried, but I think I leave it the way it is, even though from the structure point of view we might need some beams that go and support the structure. So maybe I'm going to do these beams in the middle as a last little bit, but this is something I'm not really too sure about. But you can actually see the dome really seems to turn out exactly the way I wanted it to be turned out, or look at the end of the day, because I think it just really translates what I wanted to create with it. It's actually something really cool. And you can see also the light transition is in here, like in the nighttime. It looks fairly cool, a little bit overblown though, but if you're closer it looks fine. But then if you put the light in, I think in evening light it also looks kind of cool, you know, with the light glimpsing over there for the windows, it also looks kind of neat. But all over, the lighting of domes is still a bit of an issue in Planet Zoo, so yeah. Anyways, let's go out and change the sun back to a nice viewing. There you go. You know, the seal habitat is something I'm still very happy with. I can't find a way to change this. This will be always cramped because people just run here. The only way to avoid this would be by, well, just deleting this thing. Oh, something I didn't talk about is this little fountain in the middle. I'm also kind of proud of this one. They can also sit down here. They don't do, because I think if people are tired, they do it somewhere else in this region, and then that should be fine. We also do have a showcase over here now. This is where an educator does its thing. It works actually, so that's pretty cool. And we also have like the backstage area now finally done. Everything is nice, everything is tidy. So yeah, I'm basically very happy with how this all turned out as one project. But now let's talk about the issue. So you can see the escape is basically, you know, taken care of. It doesn't happen. The problem is it always happens. I'm gonna show you what exactly I mean. So this area over here is where the problem is. I'm gonna keep it that way. So apparently all aquatic animals just can dive through walls, and this is a problem since the actual DLC dropped. And I'm not talking about the early access we had. When we had the early access, it was fine. There was not that kind of issue. But since the actual DLC launched, the animals eventually just swim from here to here. They basically ignore completely that there is a barrier. And, you know, normally, yeah, there you go. Wait, where is it? There you go. See, the caiman is all in the otter habitat, and you don't know why. And here's the big issue. You see, people now storm out because it's a dangerous animal that escaped. Alright, we get this. Now, the problem is that I will never have this whole dome in a very nice shape. So at the beginning, I took a save file where I basically made sure that everything is nice, and I just dropped the animals in. And then you even have, let me just see, 9 minutes. 9 minutes of time until the first escape. Sometimes the escape even happens earlier. So it's actually a huge issue, because the thing is that animals just completely, I don't know, they basically ignore barriers. As soon as two water volumes are next to each other and only separated by a barrier, there is no way of fixing that. I tried every single bit. I tried changing the barriers. I made it a solid barrier. I made it a wall. I made some enrichment items in between. I tried to make sure that there is so much that they can't even swim there. I don't know, it just does not support it. The game is just broken at this point, and it really annoys me because you can see how much this changes now. I would need to leave that thing running now for a couple of minutes again until it's done. And every single time when an animal escapes over here, and it's always between the otter and the terrapin, or what also happens is between here, the seal and the penguin, they also, but this is not too big of a deal because the guests do not run away from it, so they don't care if they, break into each other's habitats. They basically, enjoy how it is. And honestly, Frontier, if some of you is watching, please fix this issue. I have no clue why it happens, but it really is annoying AF because you can't do, like, these things are pretty normal because in zoos they do share the same water volume because it makes a lot of sense, you do have a lot of benefits from that. And sure, now as I do know that this problem exists, I do always try to make the water volumes a little bit different and separate from each other by by at least a little bit of land and terrain. But yeah, for the moment being, that is super annoying and really does not provide any fun to me. Because again, this project, I think I spent like a good 3 to 4 hours to fix this. And I just couldn't. I tried everything, but it just did not let me do it. Anyhow, guys, this is it for today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed the little showcase. I'm sorry I wanted to provide you with the speed build, but it just wasn't possible simply because my very own stupidity. And yeah, well, that's it. I hope you guys stay safe, and also keep an eye on the channel today. There might be a new game on the channel today with an actual speed build this time. I'm excited as hell to show it to you, and I really would love that I get your opinion on that. So keep your eyes peeled on the channel for today, and now I wish you a great Saturday. Have a good time, and goodbye, everyone.